Here at Empower Field at Mile High, I'm your team reporter, Elisa Hernandez, standing to our lead writer on DenverBroncos.com, Aric DiLalla. The Broncos fall in the AFC Championship game with a score of 10-7, falling to the New England Patriots. Not the ending that this team wanted, and obviously a tough loss for them to kind of go into the offseason with. But head coach Sean Payton did have a message for this team after the game.
Yeah, I think this is a team that fought all year long, obviously, and we saw that again this week with Bo Nix going out for the season, Jarrett Stidham stepping in, and Sean Payton said that, listen, we just didn't quite make enough plays. We didn't play well enough to win this football game, and he said that they'd go back and look and they'd see some different things. I think particularly in the first half, he mentioned some opportunities where the Broncos were able to move the ball offensively but couldn't quite get the points that they needed. And in a game that finishes 10-7, and he said early on maybe you're not quite sure it's going to be a field goal game, but that in a game like this, you need to make the most of those opportunities. I do want to say Mike McGlinchey made it quite clear in the locker room after the game. This was not on Jarrett Stidham. Obviously, he had the great throw to Marvin Mims early in the game, then the touchdown pass to Cortland Sutton before things got a little crazy in the second half with the weather. But he said it was on everybody around Jarrett and that a lot of guys had a hand in this. So obviously, when you get so close, it's disappointing. And in such a close game as well, but this is where the Broncos season ends.
And as you were recording this instant analysis, you see the snow still falling down. The elements really change. When you look at photos from the first and the second half, it's kind of interesting to see that that's all on the same day. A lot of the guys talked about how it definitely slowed the game down in a different way, and the run game really became the leaning point for each team.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw Denver's defense find success all day long. The only time that they gave up a touchdown was on the short field. After the fumble, and Jarrett Stidham mentioned after the game he thought he threw it forward. Obviously a really close play that the Patriots capitalize on. But this Denver defense took advantage in the first half when they were getting after Drake May. Then they took advantage in the snow. And the 3 points by New England early in the game on that opening drive of the second half, those were the only points of the second half. There were multiple missed field goals by both teams. It was a struggle to move the ball, and certainly I think we all expected a little bit of snow. I don't know if we expected it to play quite the role it did in this game, and a lot of guys said, hey, the Patriots had to deal with it too. So it wasn't like they were making this, excuses, but from the press box, we were able to just see that the traction was different. Certain plays probably got removed from the game plan, and so it certainly had an impact.
Yeah, and I think when you look at, again, how the defense played, how everyone played, everyone seems to be very proud of what this team has done this season. A lot of the guys were asked in the locker room, how do you move on? And obviously they were very candid by saying, well, it's hard to think about that at this moment, but we are proud of this team, and we are proud of what we accomplished this year and how we were able to push through.
Yeah, I think the beautiful thing about playoff football is you have the chance to win and advance each week. And the terrible thing about it is that it ends really suddenly, right? And so it is a kind of a shock to your emotions when it ends. This was a team that I think when you look back, like I said at the beginning, it was a season of resilience, so many comeback wins, so many one-score wins. This team again and again finding a way to battle back. And Adam Troutman said at the end of the game, you kind of thought they were going to do it again. And then to fall short in this way, that's what hurts. And as we've talked about, nothing's ever guaranteed. Troutman said you don't know if you'll be back in an AFC Championship game here or when that will be, and so you want to take advantage of these opportunities. And unfortunately today the Broncos couldn't quite make enough plays to get the win.
Well, there you have it, Broncos country. Once again, final score 10-7. I'm your team reporter, Elisa Hernandez. The next to our lead writer on DenverBroncos.com, Aric DiLalla.